Welcome back to another wonderful property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are back again in Dallas, Texas, looking at another gorgeous luxury home. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to the listing agent, Maria Figueroa with DHS Realty, for making this tour possible. I'll make sure to leave all of the information in the description below. Now, starting on the outside, family, you may notice that this home is inspired by the villas out in Tulum and Ibiza. So keep that in mind as we tour the property. You have the limestone along with the stucco. You have the arch entry going into your covered front porch. You do have a balcony. We'll see that a little bit later on, and then the wood soffit. Now, as we continue, you do have the concrete walkway separated by the gravel. You have a two-car garage right over here. We'll see that momentarily. And over there to the right, you'll notice a slider leading you right there into the study. We'll see that too. As I continue, look at this. You have a modern sunburst double front door entry, which is absolutely stunning. And then, of course, the gigantic window bringing in a ton of natural light. Not to mention the outdoor light fixtures, but let's go ahead and get you inside. Okay, so I'll pan you upwards. You see the double height entry immediately whenever you walk into the foyer. And I'll give you a better close-up of the double front door. Incredible. So you'll have the white oak floors. The color palette in here is absolutely immaculate. Now, right over here to the right, you have a storage closet. Right when you walk in, you have two powder baths. The first one is right here. Look at that. Beautiful pendant light. You have quartzite material. You have the smart Eplo toilet and the beautiful wallpaper surrounding. Now, you do have a pocket door separating this. So I love the discreet look. They paid attention to the detail. Okay, so as promised, look at the space that you have for your study. So the white oak floors extends this way. You still have some upper windows bringing in some natural light. And I love the way that it is tucked away. So especially if you need to get some work done, you have your family in town, or family are hanging out being a little bit too loud. You don't have to worry about that. You have this solid door and you can go ahead and get the work done. Okay, so as we continue right here to the right, look at this, family. So you have a formal living area. Of course, it is versatile. So the staging just gives you an idea of what you could do if you wanted to use this. It's more of a dining area or, a game room. The possibilities are endless. I love the limestone extends inwards. So you see that for your fireplace around. You have your floor to ceiling windows on both sides, bringing in a ton of natural light, and it's extremely roomy to take advantage of. And we'll get to the family room in a second. I'll show you the arch opening leading right there to the two-car garage. You have your built-ins for your mudroom. You can add the hooks if you prefer. And there is a few touch-ups that are still happening. I had to get you inside of here as soon as possible. So I just want to show you the entire space. Also, you'll notice the outlets and the baseboards, as I talk about quite often, the discreet look. Okay, so I'll let you digest this and we'll continue. Incredible. Okay, so you have your open concept dining area right over here to the left. Look how spacious and roomy it is. You have your 8-seater dining table. Then heading inside of the family room, you can see how open and interactive it is. And like I said, even from the outside to the inside, you notice the inspiration from those villas. Okay, so as we continue to the kitchen, look at the arch window, family. Impressive. So you have the quartzite material, the flat panel cabinet fronts, the waterfall edge. Look at that. And even your pop-up outlets with the quartzite on top. Beautiful. So absolutely stunning. You have your bar area on this side. So perfect for hosting. You have monogram appliances, the panel ready refrigerator, and look how discreet that is. Now, as always, let's open up some of these drawers for you so you can see how much storage you get. Got the soft close, your panel ready dishwasher on this side. Look, when it does that little tune, you know it's fancy. Okay, so you do have a downdraft vent. I know we talk about that quite often, especially if you're cooking, some steaks or possibly some bacon, the grease popping up on the window. I'll show you that right now. Trust me, they got you covered. So the best appliances money can buy. I'll turn you around on this side. Look at the storage. All custom cabinetry. You have the push to open cabinet doors. I'll show you this. There we go. See, you can pull this out, pull out drawers too. And then as always, the refrigerator. So the one thing I can appreciate about this is how seamless it looks. It flows extremely well. You'll notice that for the entire floor plan. So that is always appreciated. And then you can imagine your family and guests hanging out in here. Okay, so you do have the double sliding doors leading you to the backyard patio. I'll give you a quick sneak peek. Look at the height back there. Incredible. So we'll continue around this way and then we'll make our way back there to the staircase. So you have a little lounge area on this side. This will be leading you right to the primary suite. You have your wet bar right over here, quartzite material. Look at the sconces. And look at the way the cabinetry flows and complements the white oak floors. You have the massive windows and then the floor to ceiling window on this side. Incredible. And as we make our way around this corner, look at the primary suite. A ton of room. So before we enter, you see the double doors, then you have the sliding door on the right side. The white oak floors extends this way, your king size bed. You have your 2 nightstands. You see the windows bringing in light. And you have so much room. You have a sitting area on this side with built-in counter space. So perfect for my coffee drinkers. I talk about that quite often too. It's having your full coffee system only a few feet away from your bed. Can you imagine that on a daily basis, right? Perfect. Now you see the rounded walls flowing you straight there to the spa. You have a his and hers closet. I'll show you this one. First, you have a pocket door as well. So we've seen that for our powder bath when we first entered into the property. And then your other closet. And the one thing I love to see is the floor to ceiling shelving. And you do have some nice built-in drawers as well. But look at this spa, family. Okay. So you have your oval freestanding tub. Look at the floor to ceiling window. You have dual sinks on this side. Terrazzo like material for our counters. Even looking at the backsplash, you got one large mirror here, your sconces, the brass, and then you have some shelving right underneath here too. Yeah, travertine. You see the 0 threshold walk-in shower. Incredible. Got your water closet, the smart toilet. And look how spacious this is. You see the terrazzo shower bench, even with the shower surround too. So I'm telling you, it feels like a spa. Now, for those of you that love a wet room, in other words, the tub inside of the shower, you'll see that on the second level. So we'll get to that in a little bit. And if you haven't, please let me know your thoughts on the property so far. It is slightly different than homes that we usually have the good fortune of touring. And that's exactly why I needed to get you in here. Okay, so you have your staircase right here, but right underneath it to the left, you have your utility room. Let's see it. Right off the bat, the folding counter, but you'll notice the quartzite extends inside of this room. So it continues this way. You have additional counter space with your built-in sink, wall-to-wall cabinets, the same material that we've been seeing throughout all of the rooms that we had the good fortune of seeing so far. And then you have a quick access door leading you right out there. And then look at your dog spa. What more could you really ask for, right? The perfect laundry room with all the storage that you have, soft closing in every single room, and a generous amount of space for your washer and dryer. Awesome. So right underneath here, you see the space. I'm glad they staged it right underneath here, because on the video, hopefully it does it justice of how much room you have in each and every one of these rooms. Okay, so as we continue, look at the limestone staircase. You have the iron railings that complements very well, and I'll pan you upwards slowly so you can see this beautiful chandelier. Amazing. So this property does have 5 bedrooms. So you've seen the first one downstairs. The study doesn't count as a bedroom, so we have the additional 4 right up here. So now you see this loft, perfect for the pool table. I'll tell you that. Look at the balcony. You see that you had the balcony on the front. You see that extends back here to the backyard. So we'll start on this side. As always, we like to work our way around the perimeter of the property. Hopefully that flows for you pretty well as a viewer. A storage closet on this side, 2 bedrooms, and then the additional ones will be down that hallway. Okay, so first bedroom upstairs, you have the separate closet and bathroom. I'll show you that right here. You have a pocket door again, so you do notice that discreet theme. Even the outlets in the baseboards this way. Look at that. So you have turf on this side that wraps around, so that balcony will wrap around this way. And look at that. You have your quick access door so you can hang out back here. So plenty of space to entertain. You see the wood soffit, even the LED lights illuminates the entire property at nighttime. Right now it's, 9:30 in the morning, give or take. So this is what you would see. So heading inside of the ensuite, you have quartz countertops, the champagne bronze mirror frame. Look at that. Got a walk-in shower, beautiful, elegant shower surround. And then you have open shelving right over here. So we still have a lot to go, so hopefully you're staying with me. And hopefully you're loving the homes out in Texas. Okay, second bedroom on the second level, extremely spacious. Queen bed, your 2 nightstands, dresser. You have a generous amount of space. Then you have your ensuite on this side. Similar materials, you'll see that, even the flat panel, wire brushed cabinet fronts. Even the same material as far as the tiling is concerned. And I know I got a comment or two about that previously. You know, sometimes whenever we go to some of these spec homes, if they are staged, oftentimes they are staged for, you know, with the primary suite, the great room, you know, the kitchen, dining area, things like that. So hopefully you're not, you know, bored being up here. I just like to get you inside of the entire home so that way we don't miss a thing. You can see every square inch. Okay, So that quick access door leading you right out there to the balcony where we had just come from. You see the arch opening, heading straight here to your theater room, family. Absolutely no windows. Plenty of space to have a nice movie night. Of course, it wouldn't be complete without a storage closet. And inside, you can put your network cabinet or anything that you need to in there. And let me know if you would have a projector there or a nice 85-inch flat screen. And if you are going to get a projector, do not go cheap. You know, I've had an $85 one from Amazon some years back, and gosh, it lasted maybe 3 months. So take it for my mistakes. You know, invest in a nice one. Okay, so you see the smart toilet as well as the quartz, your arch opening leading you into your next bedroom. The one thing I think you may love is these separate closets in the bathroom. So we've seen that so far. We'll see our final bedroom, see if that still is the case. You have noticed the theme with the pocket door in every single bedroom. This one you are gonna have the shower tub combo with the sliding glass door, the similar materials on this side, even the circular mirror. And like I said, have some final touch-ups to do, so they're adding some knobs here and there and finalizing that. So I just wanted to point that out because sometimes you get kind of confused if you're touring this one and seeing the minute details. Okay, so our final bedroom, this is our fifth and final one. The one I talked about previously when I said if you like the tub to be inside of the shower, that wet room, this is going to be the perfect room for you. Each one of them had a walk-in closet, which is amazing as well. And here we go. You see the privacy glass, the arch windows. Look at the shower surround, family. Like I said, you're noticing these touches that are inspired by those villas. Got your smart toilet on this side, quartzite dual sinks, and like that rose gold mirror frame. Wow, really nice touch. And then you have your balcony. So this will be a perfect primary suite for your in-laws. They'll have a great time here. They'll love it more than you would think. Beautiful. Okay, and last but certainly not least, this will be right above the formal living area, family. So you have another balcony, another space to entertain. If you recall, right when we walked in, the foyer's underneath here too. Now let me know if you would prefer that fireplace to extend up here too. That'd be really neat. But of course, the limestone accent is always great. And if that's not enough, you can head out there to the balcony too and have a nice cigar. Just throwing some ideas out there. Okay, so that about covers the entire property, family. Hope you've enjoyed it just as much as I did. The last thing that we need to see is, of course, the backyard. And that will pretty much wrap it up. And then, like I said, we'll be out in Dallas and Houston for a little bit, and then we'll possibly head out of state. We're still deciding where we're going to go next, but trust me, wherever we do go, I'll make sure to bring you the best of the best. Okay, so let's go ahead and get you out here. Look at the limestone accent. Look at the massive ceilings. I know I gave you a sneak peek of this, but just how incredible this looks. Wow. So you are close to downtown Dallas, right? A lot of new development happening out here, but look, you still have a decent sized yard. Not to mention the privacy fence, almost like that good neighbor fence that folks see. You see this walkway leading you right here to where your primary suite was. So a ton of space to add that pool if you prefer. But not only that, you don't have to worry about adding the pool and then eliminating certain children's amenities like the playground or the play set rather, or trampoline, right? You still have room for both of those now, depending on the size of the pool. Maybe if you want a junior size Olympic pool or something like that, it's going to be a different story. But, you know, a nice size pool, you'll still have space to add the other amenities. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home right here in Dallas, Texas. Let me know if you love the inspiration in here. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.